Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome back to my channel. I believe you're fine. And today I have a different guest that I want us to just talk a few things basing on majorly politics. We have like a few days to elections, and I just want to get his reactions. Yeah, na tutazidi kusemezana hapa na pale, what, yani maoni yake in short. Yeah, so welcome, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi. I hope you're okay. I'm Peter. Thank you so much for watching this. I take this opportunity to welcome you to this special program, and I believe that we're going to have a good conversation, a very brief one, but of course something that is very essential in our life. And as far as we know, today we are already in the process of the elections. It's ongoing. It's not something that is coming. It's already there. It's already here with us, and it is upon us to see how we can look at it from another perspective. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Sawa sawa. Nataka nikuulize swali moja. What's your view? To you, is it right for a Christian to vote in these elections, or it's
not? It's very right. It's very, very, very important. And not only important, but it is also expected, and it should be like that. We should vote. Christians should take part in voting. It is our responsibility as Christians to build the nation. The responsibility of building the nation should not be just left out to the non-Christians. No, we need a Christian nation, and especially like this country of ours, this is Kenya. It's a Christian country, and it is expected that we are supposed to be voting in order for us to have a basis and a good foundation as a Christian nation. So it is very, very okay, very, very necessary, and very, very important for a Christian to take part in voting.
Wow, that's a very great answer. So I understand you once served in electoral college while in Christian Union, which that's for those who may not know, it deals with the election of leaders in Christian Union. So we want him to just give us an overview of how they used to do things there.
Yeah. When it comes to the elections at the church level, one thing we know, it may be different from whatever happens outside here, but basically it is one and the same thing, because it's all about authority. It's all about establishing the leadership of those entities which are involved in these elections. So for instance, in the Christian Union, we first of all have to have a very deep prayer concerning the leadership. That one is done by the church, and then there are a lot of considerations that are done, just like outside here in the elections, in the national elections. You find that we have to be involved in that, and the whole process has to be the same, because we have to pray for the leadership. We have to take our position as Christians. We have to pray for the nation. We have to pray for the whole process to be credible, and everybody to do what is expected of them, and for us to be able to elect the people who are right. With the Christian elections, you find that the leaders who are elected do not take over power. No, they normally take over something called office. It's just taking over the office. But when it comes to outside here, it's like people take power. So there is that difference, because you find outside here there is a lot of authority, but in church you're just taking the responsibility of just directing and guiding the flock. But outside here, it's leading, and it has a lot of authority. You have a lot of power. For instance, a president can have a lot of authority, even including some very dangerous powers which are vested on him.
Sure.
Yeah, but with the Christian elections, like in the church and the likes, it's not the same. No, it's not like that. You find that there are other things that are involved,
So,
and it's just office.
There. Well, did you in Christian election, do you normally do elections or nomination, then the body that is set aside will decide who will now take this, or will just project from whatever the rest of the church members have decided?
So what we are trying to do is, with the Christian Union, we normally also hold elections. They are very free and fair.
Free and
The
fair.
church normally goes across, and it normally does the elections because people vote, even at the church. Those democratic churches, of course, not all of them hold elections when it comes to taking over the office or handing over the office. But there are those ones which are that democratic to the extent that they allow you to vote. So for those ones which allow voting, there is also the voting. But before the voting, there is the nomination. The nomination, that is where the electoral college comes in. They normally go through the names which have been suggested by the members, the available names. You see, there is the suggestion part, whereby the churches, the members of the church are the ones who nominate the people. Then there is that nomination process whereby they roll out some names, and they are left with some few names, basing on some factors which I may not be able to disclose here.
Very well. So back to now the current situation in our nation. You know, now the political temperatures are so up to an extent that there are things that we cannot discuss because they may seem to be kind of controversial. And my question is, do you think that the church will react on things that politicians say, in your view?
Yeah, the church is supposed to react because actually the Bible says that whatever you speak comes from deep inside you. You know, there is a verse that says that. And let me tell you this, whatever you speak is whom you are. Your words help us to know who you really are. So whatever kind of words you utter will give us a direction on what we are supposed to do as Christians. Your words will tell us whether to vote you or not, because there are those ones who are abusive, there are those ones who are there to fight Christianity, there are those ones who are there to do other things, but there are those Christians who are there also to fight for the church, even in those leadership positions. And as I said, that Christians are there and they're supposed to vote, because we have to vote in people who are ready to support the church, people who are ready to defend the church, people who are ready to elevate the church. Those are the kind of the people that we are supposed to vote. And I believe that whatever they speak helps us to identify those ones who are going to be supportive to the ministry. Yes.
So my other question is, do you believe that there is a certain leader that God has set aside, or it's up to people to vote for whoever they will vote, and whoever will win, and it may not be someone that God has spoken that will be a leader? Do you believe that God has already chosen a leader and will be the one who will win, or you have a different view on the same?
I believe in the supremacy of God. Nothing happens without the awareness of God. God already knows what is going to happen. And I believe that already we are here, people are campaigning, but God already knows who is going to be our next leader, who is going to take over this position. And I don't think there is anything that happens against the will of God. So we may be voting for a particular person, then another person comes in and rigs, and he succeeds. Why? Because might be the will of God for that leader to be the one who is going to take over the leadership.
You, if you believe in stealing in elections.
Rigging is real. It's there. It's there. That one we can't deny.
So to you, sometimes rigging may be in line with the will of God. Or what are you trying to say?
You may never know. You may never know. Because unless you consult God himself, only him can be able to tell you whether it is his will or not. But at times, we are there to vote for people who are not right. Some people are just outside there, politicians, just to lie to us. They convince us with lies. And God already knows that this person doesn't mean whatever he's saying.
Sure, by the way.
You know,
there
are those people who are there coming, selling their agenda, and they are very busy lying to us. yet they want to fight against the church. Everybody, during the electioneering period, and you have seen around, everybody is now Christian. Every leader is coming to the church. Every leader is in the church. So they will be able to convince some members of the church that they are the ones who are right to hold that position. But God already knows, because he doesn't look at the appearance. He doesn't listen to the words that they utter. For him, he looks at the heart. He already knows that the motive of this person is to fight against the church. Whatever he's going to do in case he's elected is to fight against the church. So what he will do, he may lead to a godly rigging. What I refer to as godly rigging. And in case it happens, then who are we to oppose?
Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes we may be convinced that the leader is right, but he isn't. In the real sense, you find that the leader is not right, and he is not even meaning whatever he's saying to us. We are convinced he's okay, but he isn't okay before the eyes of the Lord. However much we will vote for him, God will facilitate it to succeed, because I don't believe that rigging can succeed. Even the rigging can succeed if God doesn't want it to succeed.
Sure.
Because isn't he powerful?
He is all powerful.
Don't we believe that he is supreme? He is capable of thwarting every effort that is against his will?
Sure.
He is. So I believe that is what happens.
So, I just wanted to have a briefer conversation with him, but maybe I'll ask him another question. Yeah, it may seem a bit tricky. So to you, should we elect leaders based on their manifesto or on their Christian values?
Both have to be involved. Both have to be involved. Because a person with a manifesto and is not godly, where is he going to lead us? Then a person who is so godly but has no agenda, where will he lead us as a country? So both have to go hand in hand.
Sawa, we know we gonna like a week to elections, so I don't know what you have to say, because I just want us to talk briefly. Yeah, so I don't know if you have anything to say.
Yeah, what I can tell my fellow Kenyans is that election is here with us. It has come and it will go. One thing that is just evident is that every alliance or every political side is so confident of winning. However, I advise that we lower our expectations concerning the electoral outcomes, because mutapata tu pressure hapo bure. You'll just be sick because you'll lose in this election, probably to the transparent voting process. Maybe the election will be very fair, and might be you never had the numbers, or might be it will be rigged out, and you lose it. So what I can just ask the people is to know that this election is here. It will come and go. It will leave us still the same people. If you are normally a charcoal burner, you'll continue burning charcoal until God says it's time for you to do something else. If you are a boda rider, you'll continue riding your boda every day. Every morning you'll wake up and put on your gear and go out to ride your boda. Wherever you are, you'll remain the same. What we need to do is that we just go and vote. Let us exercise our democratic right, and then we leave the rest to God. But let's not have very high expectations, because one thing that is you only know me. You only know yourself, actually. Sorry. You only know yourself. You are the only one person who is confident that you're going to vote for that preferred candidate. You don't know about me. I may be outside here lying to you, and then I don't vote. And might be you're in a place where everybody is lying to you, and you believe that so and so is going to pass. Then he ends up losing. What will you do? Will you die? Yeah, let's just take this election with the importance that it deserves, but still knowing that it will come and go, and it will leave us the same. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've not subscribed, you can consider subscribing, and you can leave your comments down there in whatever thing that we've discussed, and also share it to your friends. Yeah, and we meet in the next video. Bye bye.